Well, all right. So I've got another one. This guy brought a Honda Mower to me yesterday. He seemed kind of frantic, but you can see it sitting right here beside me. And I'd already taken the blades off and started to take the little hood off of there. But looks almost brand new. Check that out. Really nice mower. And electric start. I mean, just look brand new. I think he's only had it maybe 3 months. And he said he was mowing his yard with it and ran over some twigs that were barely, quarter-inch diameter. Kind of light-duty stuff, but after that, it banged around and it ran for just another minute, and he had to shut it down. There was oil leaking everywhere, and down at the bottom. And by the time he, got under there to look at it and check the oil, it was dry. It had already drained out. Well, he had brought it over to a fairly big garage, a small engine repair, and they buy and sell and all that stuff, and they just immediately just told him, no, bent crankshaft, not repairable. They're not going to do it. Won't handle warranty. It's not under warranty because it's not under manufacturer's assembly or whatever, right? It was due to his his mowing over whatever. So that kind of sucked. I mean, only 3 months old. I mean, those mowers aren't cheap, right? And so he brought it over. I was like, I'll take a look. And I told him it would probably take me a while because I'm going to go through different stages. I want to take a look at the blades, which they're right here. And you can see they're covered in oil. But the blades aren't that bad, right? Doesn't look like they're all dented up or anything. Not bad at all. And so I was going to take a look at that and then, spin it around and see if the crankshaft is, if it's wobbling or. And I forgot to ask him, did it vibrate when it was still running for that minute? But let me set up the camera here and I'll show you what I ran into. All right, so I took the hood off and all that stuff. I needed access to the flywheel, but let me turn this on its side so you can see all the oil's been slinging around. And when I'm spinning it around, everything looks great, right? So I just immediately looked under here, and I'm sitting here. I know you're not going to be able to even see it even if I have a close-up with the camera. But I'm sitting here rotating the seal in my fingers right there. So hopefully that is the only problem. I'm going to take the clutch off and see if I can reseat the oil seal that's in there, and I'll show you once I get that off. But yeah, it just came off. I don't know why it came off so easy, so hopefully it's not damaged or anything. But yeah, it's kind of strange, isn't it? I've never seen this on a Honda. I've never seen a seal like that just drop off. Alright, I'm going to see if I can't get my impact wrench to get this nut off. If not, because it is just spinning, That's why I wanted access to the flywheel here. You can see where I'm spinning it. So at least I have something I can hold on to and get that off. But let's see if this will loosen it up. There we go. I'm going to do the rest by hand. Make sure, because it feels like it's spring loaded. take this off in one unit, just in case some springs and clutch plates go flying somewhere. Don't want that to happen. There we go. Yeah, so it's just the little leaf springs there. Alright, not bad. Let me find something clean to set this on. Alright, we'll set that down. Now this piece, let me turn the flywheel here. Yeah, it's rotating smoothly. It's not wavering at all, you know, so I don't think it's a bent shaft. So here's the control cable, and it looks like we need to take this spring off here. Yeah, then we'll be able to pull this out and disconnect the cable. Just remember how it's going on. Should be no problem. This slides off. Looks like it'll rotate a little bit over once we get this spring off. So let me do that. Alright, very good, very good. Let's slide this booger off. There's the spring load. There's the spring. And there's the cable. So no problem. Alright, so here's the assembly. I know I can pull this off. But see, there's the seal right there. It's just hanging there. Isn't that something? It must have just been barely hanging on. So maybe I don't even need to take this off. I could probably tap this in. Because the seal does not look damaged at all, you know. There's no bumps, cuts, splits, nothing. I think I'm just gonna, get a blunt instrument and tap this thing in. Then I'll put it together real quick, put some oil in it, and give it a shot, right? And hopefully it's not gonna leak. But if it does, I'll take another look at it. If you can see what I'm doing, that you saw. There we go. I do believe it is in. Well, I hope that is it. And I'm going to get a bunch of this loose oil cleaned up so that I'll know once I crank it up and fill it with oil and crank it up, and at least I'll be able to tell if it's new oil being slung around, if it is leaking. You know what I mean? But if not, then I would say it's a fix. And it just slung oil all over the place, didn't it? All around the inside of the deck. And the blades were covered in oil. clutch plates inside there. See, that goes in. Probably easier to put the spring in first. There's the key. Just tumble. Here's the blades. Let me get these jokers. No. Alright, well, I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to put some oil in it, crank it up, give it a stress test and see if it's, make sure it's not going to be leaking any oil. Let's put some oil in it. See if it holds oil. I hope that seal isn't bad. If it is, you can see how easy it was to take all that stuff off. I'll just have to order a new seal, which I'm tempted to do. But I'm going to take a look at it first before I even crank it up. Seems pretty dry. Well, I guess I'll crank it up, let it run for a second. I always forget the spark plug. Why won't it start? Oh, the gas fuel line was cut off. Let the float bowl fill it up there. All right. So I'm digging back into it because what I noticed, engine's running, it was cutting grass and all that good stuff, but the blades were always rotating, right? It's like this thing was just not letting loose. Right now I do have it clamped shut. I'm going to see if there's any adjustments I need to make here so that this thing is turning the way it should, because right now it's engaged, but even when I turn the lever off, everything is still engaged, right? It's just not letting loose. Let me let the lever off. Okay. Doesn't look like there's any adjustments that can be done. Alright, well, everything looks like it's on like it should. So right now I have the lever engaged, so you can see the crankshaft. This is turning with the crankshaft, right? Because it has the key on it, just like a flywheel key up here. Well, there's a flywheel key on this clutch. A minute ago when I cranked it up, it's like the blades were still turning. It was still cutting even though I didn't have the blade control engaged, right? So let's see what this does now. I've doubled and triple checked it. So see here, it's turning freely with this, but you can see the crankshaft isn't turning. You don't hear any compression or anything in the engine, right? The crankshaft isn't turning. Now we engaged it. Now, see, that is strange. So the only thing left is to make the adjustments here. Yeah, that must be it. Alright. I don't think the cable is pulling enough. Alright. Loosen all this up. There we go. That's good. Alright, let's look and see what that did to this piece. So I'm going to go engage the lever and watch this little piece. It should go all the way up, right? Before it was only going a part of the way, but it needs to engage fully. It needs to go all the way. So let me engage it. Put a clamp on it. Yeah, there we go. So now when I turn this, it will be turning with the crankshaft. Yeah, I can feel it turning. Yep, and there's the compression stroke. Alright, that got it. Now let's crank it up. Make sure the clutch is working, and we'll stress test it and make sure it's not leaking oil. Well, let's put the spark plug on this time. Well, that did it that time. I knew something wasn't right. And for another quick look, it's all clean. I don't think there's any more oil leaks. Alright, that did it. It took me a couple of times around. I knew the clutch wasn't engaging properly, but now it is, and it turns out I was putting everything back together well. It just wasn't adjusted there on the handles, you know, for the tautness of the cable, right? So just had to think twice on that one. but it's working fine. I am going to stress test it. This is the mower is running real smooth, you can see. And then with the double blade, that quad, whatever Honda's calling their blade cut, but it has the two blades, and it really cuts it clean. So I'll probably keep it one more day and mow my yard with it and make sure that it's not going to leak any oil after 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. And I'm thinking then I'll probably still give him the choice. It's like, well, I'll tell him I just replace the oil seal. I used the same seal and just reseated it. He can use it, and if it runs fine, great. But if it does pop back out and leaks all the oil out again, then I'll tell him to bring it back, and I'll fix it just for the cost of the seal. I'm not going to double charge him the labor, even though I'll have to take it apart again, but it's not that hard. So yeah, I'll probably just give him that option. I'll say, here, test it out, mow with it, but if it does pop off, then bring it back and I'll put a seal on there. So, well, that's it. I'm sure he's going to be happy because I mean, this is an expensive mower and a really nice one. So, well, so I guess that's it for this video. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.